Okay, it's going to be a bit of a weirder episode. Hey guys, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris, I think. If you can't tell, my voice is a bit shot at the moment. It's just been a long week of voiceover and characters and noises and sounds. Oh my. If I haven't mentioned it before entirely, that's what I do day to day for work. I'm in the business of doing decibels, And decibels I did, so much so until my voice just spent, At least like the upper register where I typically speak at, my, hey guys! If I was going to do an impression of my own voice. And the issue with that is that I'm not supposed to be speaking up there. If you're not watching, I'm doing heavy air quotes. Any vocal coach or acting professor or anybody I've ever trained under, they always go, hey, what's with the tension? You got to relax, dial it back. You're going to wear yourself out. And I go, no, never. It'll never happen. And then I wore myself out. And the problem is that I speak up there all the time, right? And I get jobs up in that voice. And now I'm kind of overloaded. So I have a finite amount of words up there. And it's fine. I got all the work done. But with the podcast, it's been so weird because I'm trying to, get going. And I'm not used to speaking down here. And it's not my fault, all right? Like, I like the explosiveness of where I speak at, regardless of how healthy it is. It's fun and exciting and animated. And I kind of charge off it, It's like a self-fulfilling cycle of enthusiasm. So I don't mean to say like this voice is boring. I understand it has its own charm, but I kept trying to do this podcast. I started over like 35 times. And I was like, oh my, yawn, like I just couldn't get behind it. I was like, well, come on, shoot out of the gates. I need to come out of a cannon. So bear with me because it feels really awkward for me. And you know what? If it's going to be weird, where better than the circus? You know what I'm saying? So I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. What's new? Check out the table, dude. All right, we finally I've been playing with this guitar pick. I don't know why I can't put it down. I'm going to keep picking it up. Hope you don't mind. But the table, it's nice and cleaned off. Very professional, very elegant, I guess, to go with the new adult and stoic, studious voice we got going on. And the shelves, man, those godforsaken things have been in the background for months collecting dust. And now they're collecting garbage and trinkets. And I'm nothing if not a man who likes to put stuff in places. So everything's kind of coming together here, except my voice. But other than that, we're slowly putting the pieces together. We're finally becoming something. And in the world, man, I know it's Black History Month. Congratulations to anybody who celebrates it. I'm trying to celebrate it. I don't know if I'm allowed to. But 2025, I've decided, is the year I'm celebrating everything. Don't care. Okay, Black History Month, Women's History Month, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Earth Day. If I'm from outer space, don't care. My birthday, your birthday, all of it can get it. You got balloons, you got cake or any sort of grain, a muffin, I'm there. Again, I don't know if I'm allowed, but I think everybody should have a month, okay? And there's no month for a guy like me. You got Black History Month, you got Asian, Hispanic, Islander, Women's History Month. There's no men, and there's certainly no Italian History Month. I feel like everybody should. I'm not trying to diminish anyone's month by me wanting a month, but it just seems like fun, dude. The most Italians get is a day, where pastrami's half off at Jimmy John's. But other than that, man, like I need, I think it's a good time. Everybody should learn about their culture and heritage and traditions. And I don't know anything about Italians, because I can't even riff off that. I'm just like spaghetti, meatballs, pasta, rigatoni, let's have a time. So it's cool. I wouldn't mind a month. It seems like it'd be nice. I saw that they were actually pausing. I don't know if it was all the months or just Black History Month, because something came out about Martin Luther King, which is weird. I love a good conspiracy theory as much as anybody else, but it's weird to bring up new information now, like he's still out there sending tweets out and like, oh, we got him. That was insensitive. So it's like either you had the information the whole time or you didn't, so it's not like they found a USB drive in a squirrel's nest. Holy crap. We just found all this out now. So I don't know. It's really weird. Or maybe I'm off the mark and I'm stupid, but I always think I want to get behind conspiracy theories. I say this all the time, but you got to sell me on it. Bring me in, we can't just say stuff to say stuff. because I want to be in the club, but you gotta, I'm an open-minded skeptic. I've said the same thing about Bigfoot and aliens. Like, I want to be in there, man. If you believe in ghosts, bring me into the club, but like, present me something. It's gonna sell me on it. So I don't know if Black History Month is down or if all the months are down. It would be a bit unfortunate because Pride Month is probably the only thing I can get like a sliver of. I'm not gay, but I did go to school for musical theater for a semester. So they give me like a day and a half there. I'm like, yeah, balloon. And then they take it back. But yeah, so hopefully everybody's months are going stupid fun and stupid crazy and they go back up. Everybody should have a month, everybody should be represented in some way. And I tell you what, man, I was thinking about this last night. The only people, with months and celebrations, we try to uplift everybody, all the minorities and ethnicities and religions and everyone, right? Everybody is important except ugly people. There's no affirmative action for ugly. Ugly people draw the short stick no matter what their creed is, where they're from, or what their background, what they look like. Hey, if we're like, hey, we need more women in this workforce, the ugly women aren't going to get the job. Same with the men or whatever religion it is, or it doesn't matter. You could be number one, but if you're ugly, it's just they don't get it, and it's not fair. We are overlooking ugly people to an insane degree. What I'm fighting for today, guys, is Ugly History Month, and I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be the guy to set that out and be like, hey, this is my month. It would be a tough one to celebrate. I won't lie to you. To get like, no one's going to want to claim that. We need affirmative action for ugly people. Ugly people need jobs. Nobody really would want to accept that. How'd you get that? I was the worst looking candidate. But I just feel like it is something we're overlooked. If pretty privilege exists, then ugly unfortunates also has to be in the mix there. And we like to act like pretty privilege doesn't, okay? We like to overlook that and go, yeah, of course, pretty, like they get all this and that. But it does, And, to be fair, it's not all that easy as well. I think people just overlook it and go, oh, it's so easy, so this. But it's really hard for us. Like I would like to open a door for myself now and then. I can't remember the last time I waited in line or paid for my own meal. But you're kind of robbed of the human experience in a way. So I'm just saying, if I have a pretty privilege, there should be some sort of ugly benefits as well. But that's what I've been thinking about lately. And I just want to say justice for ugly people. However, there's no way to kind of, we're certainly not going to be building a statue of the guy because he's like, take it down. We'll think about it. But do we want to see that? Probably not, Pretty privilege, tons of statues, murals, whatever you want. But, no one's going to be wearing the mascot on his shirt. So that kept me up laughing last night. I will say, dude, the funniest thing happened to me last night. No, the night before. I've been trying to eat more fruit, right? And the problem is sometimes I get it and I don't consume it immediately. And I'm just laying in bed with a banana. And I get distracted. I'm doing whatever I'm doing. And I guess it fell behind my pillows. So hours went by. It's the middle of the night and I'm kind of throwing my arms under my pillowcase and I feel something. I kind of freak out. And I pull a freaking banana out from under my pillow, man. And I was trying to fall asleep so hard, but you pull a banana, like what sort of tooth fairy is this? Okay, I got the little potassium prince throwing stuff at me, and I started laughing. So I was so close to falling asleep, but I found a banana under my pillow, and I just laughed for probably 45 minutes, and I couldn't go back to bed, man. And now I'm checking my pillows for the past couple of nights, like is there anything under here? If I left any snacks or a food tray. So I just want to put that out there in case anyone else is struggling with that. Don't eat in bed, all right? Because it's in there. You can't get rid of your food, even when you think you're eating it. I'm storing away snacks. But yeah, man, it's been nice. Life's been good, dude. I've been feeling chill. I've been feeling relaxed. Been feeling really good. I got a little whiteboard. Is it white or whiteboard? I think it could be both. Maybe it's dry erase, isn't it? It's neither. I got a little dry erase board over there, and I wrote probably my favorite quote of all time. Okay, and other people, maybe you got Martin Luther King or Gandhi or somebody very stoic, and maybe it'll be me now that I'm speaking like this. I wonder if people would take me more serious if I did speak from my chest more. But anyways, I have up on the dry erase board, it says, "It is fun to have fun, but you have to know how." Cat in the Hat. And that is the greatest phrase of all time, man. And even if you don't believe it, which you should, it's true. But it's just nice to pass by, you know. And I mean, it is fun to have fun, but you have to know how. And maybe I'm trying to look at it deeper than it is. Like, it's just it's fun to have fun. You got it. He's just, you know, mopping up the house or whatever he's doing with the thing 1 and thing 2. But it's a beautiful sentiment, I think, you know, because life's a bit destructive. Life's a bit challenging. And, you know, certainly right now in these early months in the year, I mean, it's not just like, oh, the political climate and whatever's going on. Like, there's always a big seasonal depression and everybody feels so drained and down. And it's nice to just, I don't know, for something about that just really hits for me. And I always think about that. I've been quoting it for years. I say it to my mom. My mom says it back to me now if I'm ever feeling down. She's like, "Hey, it's fun to have fun, but you have to know how. It's like, I don't know. I always try and rework things. Like when bad stuff happens, I'm trying to like put the right pieces. It's a puzzle. If I can figure it out, if I can figure out how to have fun, you got to know how. And it adds a lot. It's just been this stupid little board, and I see it every day now. I go, it is fun to have fun, and I know how, and I'm gonna. If I could get my voice back, though, I'd be having even more fun. I would get that as a tattoo. I wouldn't. You know, as Sebastian Maniscalco says, you don't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari. You know, like I don't want to get a tattoo, but if I was ever going to get one, that's what I would get. Cat in the Hat, man. People got like spiritual, just nice verses and things that mean a lot. And it does mean a lot, but it would be funny to have that just across my chest or my whole back. You know, I think tattoos should always be where they're not visible to you. You know, because if they mean a lot to you, then hopefully they have some importance. You should be sharing that with the world. What do I need that on my forearm or my bicep so I can look at it? It's important to me. I already know what it is. Okay. Now it's on a whiteboard, I guess, dry erase board. But I think if the tattoo really means something, you should be using yourself as a mural, a flag, a banner. Like, check this out. It's back here. You know, I know what it is. Okay. If it's a Pokemon I really love, let me share that with the world. I don't need to see it. But what was I going to say? I don't know. Yeah, I would get, I mean, I don't want to, but I would. Tattoos are really common, you know. It's hard for me to say that stuff usually, like as a young man. Be like, man, things are different these days, because I don't remember. I don't know how it was, but you see movies from previous times in histories, and it felt like tattoos were much more foreign or risque, or they were outlawed, a little bit more taboo. I think, man, that it's probably with like because you have the tattoo, like laser removal. I think as that's become more common, that everybody's got a tattoo. Everybody and their uncle, and their aunt, their grandma, all their relatives, their nieces, nephews, their dogs, cats. And yeah, I wonder if it has to do with the laser removals, because they kind of just became more commonplace or cheaper, because you can get a tattoo removed. It's not as permanent. And I think that might lose a little bit of its luster. Like if you're going to really mark yourself permanently, you go, this is on me forever. And to a lot of people it is, but there's still that cop out, you know, we're like, I don't want to, but I can get rid of it if I had to, you know? And it's a little bit newer. I don't know if that's true, actually. I think I'm making that up. Either that's true or I made that up. I don't know. Maybe that's been around for years. But if it hasn't, then I'm sorry. And, you know, I've said this before, but why does everything I say have to be true? You know? Like, I feel like some of the best phrases are lies. I don't know who just decided that everything I say has got to be honest. Isn't it much more fun to make stuff up? I think the best phrases that we speak, arguably, are false, are incorrect. I mean, think about the things that inspire you, the things that bring you joy. Santa Claus is coming to town. We might have a good shot this year, you know? Or what's another good one? I'll do it later. None of those things are true, but don't they bring you so much joy? They're not honest. They're not correct. But I think there should just be more room for acceptance of falseness. And I'm working on that. So I want to put that out into the world. Lying, I guess. Sorry. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't want to lie. I don't want to be dishonest. I just want to make stuff up. When you have an imagination, I just want to run wild with it, and I want to preach it as such. But then people fall for it. And especially when you speak and you're not up in your fun voice, then, dude, I have to go higher than I normally do. It's becoming Mickey. But anyways, guys, yeah, lots of thoughts, lots of feelings. There's lots of good stuff going on in the world. So just, have fun the only way you know how and figure it out. But before, I guess we would end it. It's only a few minutes into the show. But we can't because we have questions today, guys. We got questions. As always, you can write into the show, down below. I'm probably going to do the thing. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But at FullCircusPodcast@gmail.com, or you can contact me on any social medias or comments or what have you. If you want to reach out, find a way, and I will bestow wisdom upon you. People don't often do that. People write in a lot of questions, but it's never about love or loss or life. It's typically about pranks and about wedgies, and today is no different, dude. In fact, we have a couple questions. Now, normally we do one a day, but they're kind of exactly the same. So, let me read these out to you. This one comes from Hugh Murray. Humor. Do you go by humor? Hey, here comes humor. You got a nice sense of humor. He says, "Hey, Tristan, I know you do a lot of wedgie questions in your podcast. So when the time came, I knew who to turn to. So basically, my older brother has been really annoying my whole life. So I wanted to pull a massive wedgie. Do you have any suggestions on something he wouldn't be able to escape and be stuck in the wedgie until I let him go? Like tie him or something. Please get me right. Thank you." Now, I'm going to get to this in a minute. First off, saying please get me right will always make me laugh. That's so silly. I got to wedgie this guy. Please get me right. I have some thoughts. Actually, yeah, before we move on. When I give you your answer, I hope this is you retaliating, like as an annoying person. I don't want people to just be coming after me because I'm weird. So I hope that your older brother has been wedgieing you and okay, I preach wedgie justice, all right? I don't ever want to start a fight, okay? You can pick a wedgie, but you can never pick a wedgie fight, all right? So I want you to take whatever advice I give you with a grain of salt as a hero. If you're a villain, I disapprove, and I will come after you as a wedgie master.
I outrank you. Step aside.
Now the second question comes from Wade Wiggins, and he reached out. He was commenting just to kind of update me, as a lot of people do, about their wedgie experiences. I don't know how we got here, man. But he said, "Dude, Dad got bro and I tighty whities for Christmas as a joke. Actually wore them, and my bro found out. Resulted in an atomic wedgie." That was the first message, and to which I laughed at him, and I can't help it. Okay, and I threw up a little Hunger Games salute for the guy, and then he came back and he said, "Update: after recovering from the wedgie, got his boxers almost atomicked. However, he atomicked me again." You can't help but feel bad for this guy. He just wants to be in the culture, and this poor, his dad gives him the joke, and his brother gets him doubled. You try to get some wedgie justice, and they come back. You strike me down, and I'll pull even harder. He came back again. He said, "There's no longer an unwedgied pair of whiteys in this house. He needs help. What should my revenge be?" is what he asked. Okay, guys. So these are the questions that I do enjoy, where people are actually looking for some sort of wedgie advice. We've gotten a lot of wedgie. I haven't answered them on the show, but people reach out, and it's more, kinky. And people are really into the wedgies, which, look, I'm not going to kink shame out loud, but gross. And I don't know how to answer that. I'm like, guys, I think wedgies are silly and stupid and childish. but it's certainly not something I enjoy. So these kind of questions. We're out for blood and justice. Heroes if Batman, gave wedgies, or Superman, and that's probably why they wore their underwear on the outside, okay? Because they had nothing to fear. But anyways, to go back to Hugh Murray, all right? Actually, both you guys are in a similar position, all right? So he wants to attack his older brother, and he wants to give him a massive wedgie to take care of him because he's been annoying. I want to get him stuck. I want to beat him. Now, if you're a younger brother, it is very hard to wedgie an older sibling, all right? Take it from somebody who knows. It's difficult to do. And similar with Wade Wiggins, I assume it is also your older brother. The fact that you tried to get him atomic and you couldn't get it done, and then he double atomic you, I assume you guys are both smaller and you don't have the physical advantage. I think, first off, before I even talk about wedgies, younger brothers, you guys are overlooking the actual other, like, you have other outlets. You have speed, agility, use more pranks, tricks, deceit. As I was talking about before, you don't got to be honest, lie a little bit, steal from them. I was never able to physically overpower my older brothers, but I would take stuff. I would embarrass them. I would lie. I would say they wet the bed in front of their friends, Sharpie their face in the middle of the night, beef stew, whatever you got to do, older brother, younger brother shenanigans. So don't feel like you got to fight fire with fire. If they're bullying you and they're throwing atomics with ease and you can't do it, find another way. Life's not all about wedgies. It's about getting right with your siblings, okay? Now, if you want to be doing these wedgies and you want to do a proper atomic, all right? And I've mentioned this before. Wedgie, it's not just some sort of game, man. This is real life. You got to be in the gym and you got to be working, right? On these overhand curls, work the brachialis, because this is a tough motion. I don't know, everybody just expects like you're going to grab a waistband and just really pull, how you got to get that? Like, you got to put the work in, man. So if you're going to do that, you got to be in the gym. It is a powerlifting's sport. But if you guys are both smaller and you're trying to get someone stuck, okay, as humor, he wants to get someone stuck, something they can't get out of it, the atomic wedgie is the one to do, all right? You go up, you go over, waistband on the back, all right? Wade Wiggins, by the way, you can't be wearing tighty whities, all right? That's just a problem to begin with. Now, you should never shame a victim and say, oh, you're asking for it with what you wear. That's horrible. You should never say that to anybody but someone who wears tighty whities, okay? It literally, you might as well embroider wedgie me on the waistband, man. So it sucks because you were just wearing them as a joke and he caught you, and then you try to get him back, and there's a lot of pain in both of these essays here. But both you guys, smaller, you need revenge. I'm going to recommend the atomic for both of you. But if you guys don't have the size to do that and you can't do this, what you want to do is catch him at a table, like a park bench, kind of like this. Legs are under the table. That way, if you're going to wedgie him, you can't, his knees are hidden. There's no quick escape. But if you're smaller, again, you're not going to be able to just grab and pull. So what I would recommend doing is climbing, on the back of the bench, kind of like this. And what you need to do, it's going to be like you're going to have to deadlift kind of his underwear and pull it up and over and reach. And you put that freaking thing on his forehead, man. And you say, remember that. And then you obviously need to get away because, he's an older brother. There goes my milk. So, yeah, utilize your size advantages. Get yourself in a position where you can actually win. And again, I recommend probably finding a different path because if you're struggling with them now, if you get them like that, you're going to die. So I was always a big fan of taking my brother's things and hiding them, or just spouting out rumors, like anything that I can use to be a nuisance. I was faster, I was quicker, and I could run away, and I was good at hiding. So hopefully that helps. Get over there, man. Give them the atomic. And if that doesn't work, retire, because they're going to come after you with full force. And I think that's everything. Yeah, fine. If you don't want him to escape, the atomic's the way to go, and get him. If he's got underwear on his head, first, that's disorienting. So, good luck. I wish you the best the best. You wedgie warriors, get out there, take care of business. And if anybody wants to get more help like that, again, feel free to do that. And that just goes for the attack. In terms of survival, man, I've given out plenty of information in terms of belts and clasps and ways to get away and whatnot. But another one I've been thinking about, man, is, like how women wear like a backless dress. You know what would be awesome? Would be like backless underwear. Dude, where look, you're going to get chafed up, okay? The cheeks on the denim's no good. But if you guys are really getting wedgied, then you got to do something about it. And maybe it's not fair for me to say, as an adult, I'm not getting wedgies. I've never gotten an unconsensual wedgie, maybe a time or two, but I was always better at getting away, and we thrived more on violence. So, I wish you guys the best of luck. Do whatever you can to survive out there, and hopefully things go your way. Please update me, and if you want, and I will give you more feedback. Also, if anybody wants to write in real questions, I've got real answers, all right? They might not be great, they might not be perfect, but you come at me with some wisdom-seeking, perspective, and you're like, I want to know how I'm supposed to win this girl over. Like, oh man, my dog died, what should I do? I will bestow upon you such nonsense, you'll forget you were ever sad, okay? And I will, it's fun to have fun. You just have to know how. But hopefully that helps. I think that covers everything. I'm going to go rest my voice so I can get back to sounding fun again, man, because this is really hard. It's actually really, really tough because my brain wants to like take a nap, because the only time I am ever speaking from my chest at all is if I'm just woke up or I'm relaxing or about to fall asleep. So I'm going to go, oh my gosh. All right, guys, I'll see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next episode, and we will have an absolute ball. If I'm forgetting anything, hey, sorry, but I love you. I'll see you. Thanks for hanging out. And to the next one.